Locked jaw keeps anxiety running until you deactivate the circuit that sustains it. There's an auricular protocol that brings your body to zero tension in the TMJ in 2 to 3 minutes, using only your ear and your breath. It activates 4 gateways along the vagus nerve pathway, sending a direct message to your nervous system. It's safe to let go. When the jaw unlocks, the breath drops, sleep deepens. The voice flows without tension, and the mind stops reacting out of habit. Teeth grinding, clicking sounds, facial pain, and a held-back voice are no longer seen as separate issues. They're all signs of an alarm that was never turned off. God dwells in the body as silent presence and responds when you send a coherent signal, not through abstract belief, but through the language the vagus nerve understands. Now touch the outer edge of your ear with your thumb behind it and your index finger in front. Glide slowly and notice the subtle warmth that begins, the lightness rising toward your temple. That's the first sign that your body recognizes the command. The first gateway is about to open now, with clear instructions so you can feel the shift in real time. Gateway 1, auricular edge, helix and antihelix, the curved frame you're touching right now. Turn this touch into a slow sweep from the top down to the earlobe, without rushing, taking 30 to 40 seconds to cover the full length. Breathe through your nose. Let your exhales naturally grow longer than your inhales. Don't force anything, just follow the movement as the air flows out gently. Rest your head if you're sitting, or if you prefer, lie on your side with your ear facing up. The touch should be soft, skin to skin, without pressure. As you glide, observe what happens. You might feel warmth in your face, your jaw beginning to soften, or a sudden urge to yawn. That yawn is not fatigue, it's a sign that the vagus nerve is responding. Let it come. If your jaw starts to loosen a bit, don't hold it back. Keep sweeping down to the earlobe, then pause. Feel how the weight of your face begins to shift, as if something that used to be tense is now starting to release. Your breath might drop into your belly without you having to control it. That's because touching the auricular edge activates superficial branches of the vagus nerve that connect to the brainstem. The nervous system receives the first message. There's no threat here. The face relaxes because the masseter muscle, the one that keeps your jaw clenched, begins to lose its grip. The breath drops because the diaphragm is released from the tension that kept it locked in a chest-focused pattern. Your body reads this touch as a signal of safety. Repeat the sweep one more time, now paying attention to what shifts. Maybe more warmth, maybe the feeling that your jaw is sliding slightly downward. These are the first markers. Saliva may return to your mouth if it was dry. Peripheral vision might clear slightly. Small sighs may emerge without you forcing them. Each of these signs confirms that something has shifted in your autonomic state. This is just the first gateway. There are 3 more that take the effect deeper and seal the state change in a lasting way. The next gateway works in an even more sensitive area, where your body's response becomes stronger. That first access was just the surface. Now you're diving into something deeper. Gateway to intertragic notch. Find the small hollow between the tragus and antitragus, right in the center of your ear, where there's a natural indentation. Place your index finger there with minimal, steady pressure, no pain. Let your mouth remain slightly open, teeth unclenched, tongue resting gently on the floor of your mouth. Now create a soft sound, almost inaudible, just enough to generate a subtle internal vibration. Stay like this for 20 to 30 seconds. Feel the vibration moving down your throat, as if the sound were touching the inside of your neck. You might feel a stronger urge to yawn now. Let it happen, don't hold it back. The yawn confirms that the vagus nerve is responding to direct stimulation. If tears come to your eyes, they're not emotional, they're physiological, a sign of parasympathetic release. Take one deep breath and release the touch. Gateway 3, preauricular region, just in front of your ear, over the temporomandibular joint. Place your index and middle fingers there, where you can feel the movement of your jaw as you open and close your mouth. Now, instead of pressing, glide your fingers horizontally with a feather-like touch, as if gently smoothing the skin. The motion is slow, back and forth, for 30 to 40 seconds. Keep your gaze soft on the horizon, without a fixed focus. Your jaw might start to slide downward on its own, as if an invisible weight were pulling it gently. Clicking sounds that used to happen when chewing may ease or disappear in this moment. The relief is immediate, because the masseter, the muscle responsible for chronic clenching, receives a new signal. You can let go now. This release lowers the level of autonomic overdrive that feeds the body's internal alarm state. Diaphragmatic breathing is freed because vagal tone increases, and the diaphragm is no longer being held rigid by sympathetic command. Emotional tension begins to dissolve because the jaw holds the weight of everything left unspoken, and when it lets go, what was held back finds its way out. It's like a valve opening, allowing what was trapped to flow freely without resistance. Whether you're sitting or lying down, the practice works just the same. Choose the position that allows you to surrender more fully. From here, it's not just your jaw that changes. Sleep becomes deeper because the body enters true rest, not just accumulated exhaustion. Mental clarity increases because your breath feeds the brain with steady oxygenation. Your voice comes through stronger because the throat is no longer tightened by a defensive reflex. Calm in the face of conflict begins to emerge because your nervous system no longer reacts by default. It now responds by choice. These changes begin now, in the moment you open the gateways. God is not outside, watching. God dwells within the body as a silent force, confirming and sustaining the transformation when you send the right signal. What you're feeling is not something you created, it's something revealed. You've crossed into a deeper level. This is the point where living stories begin to show how this kind of access changes destinies. Pain wakes Diane before the alarm. 56 years old, teeth marked into her tongue, temples throbbing like something is tightening from within. She's lived this way for so long, she's forgotten what it feels like to wake up without tension in her face. During the day, meetings feel like traps. Her voice comes out strained. Words get stuck in her throat before they can take shape. And she feels ashamed of making sound, of taking up space. When she tries to speak with confidence, her jaw locks even more, as if her body is censoring her. At night, the clenching returns. Her jaw tightens so forcefully that she wakes up startled. Short of breath, heart racing, without understanding why her body won't rest, even when exhausted. She tries the protocol for the first time before bed, barely believing that something so simple could make any difference. Gateway 1, the sweep along the edge of the ear, brings a gentle warmth that rises toward her temple. Gateway 2, the pressure on the intertragic notch, triggers a deep yawn that surprises her, followed by involuntary tears at the corners of her eyes. Gateway 3, the gliding over the TMJ, does something unexpected. Her jaw slides downward on its own. For the first time in years, like an invisible hook had been released. Diane feels her jaw moving away from the skull, and her breath drops into her abdomen without effort. She sleeps through the entire night without waking once. In the morning, her face feels soft, without that rigid weight she was used to carrying upon waking. The next day, during a meeting, Her voice comes out clear, steady, without tension, without hesitation. And she realizes something has changed, not in her speaking technique, but in the internal command that allows speech to happen. Her jaw doesn't lock anymore because her body has been given permission to let go. Just like Diane, you can also feel this shift when you open these gateways. Each one activates a deeper layer than the last. So far, you've opened 3 gateways. There's a 4th one that seals the state shift in a lasting way. Gateway for mastoid, located behind the ear, on the bone you can touch now with your fingertips. This is the final anchor point where steady touch, combined with the 4-2-6 breathing pattern, completes the vagal circuit and locks the new command into the nervous system. Inhale through your nose to a count of 4, hold for 2, exhale through your mouth to a count of 6. When this protocol is repeated for 7 nights in a row, the body learns a new pattern. The jaw stops being a battlefield and returns to being a joint. Breath drops without effort. The voice finds its way through, and sleep becomes restorative, not just long. It's like a vibrational thread being rewoven, stitching back what had been separated. Speech becomes less reactive because the nervous system no longer fires alarms at every trigger. Morning energy rises because the body actually rested. It didn't just shut off for hours. The voice flows steady because the throat is no longer clenched by a defense reflex. Sleep deepens because the safety circuit was activated before rest. Presence stabilizes because the mind no longer has to make up for a body in survival mode. There is an ancient root and a modern confirmation for what you've just felt. In Hermetic traditions, the body is seen as a microcosm. Every region reflects a greater principle. The jaw, located at the base of the skull and connected to the communication axis, represents the gateway between inner and outer worlds. Alchemy teaches that what is not expressed accumulates in form. Unspoken words imprint themselves on the temporomandibular joint as chronic tension. The jaw holds the weight of what was never said. The ear is a holographic map of the entire body, where the vagus nerve can be accessed externally without invasive procedures. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory explains. The auricular branch of the vagus nerve sends safety signals to the brainstem, modulating the amygdala, the locus coeruleus, and the motor nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. Anatomical studies confirm vagal branches in the concha, the tragus, and the intertragic notch, exactly where you placed your touch. Research on transcutaneous auricular vagus nerve stimulation supports the ability to shift autonomic state within minutes, without medication, using only measured touch. Science describes in nerves and neural centers what the ancients called gateways of light. The body responds to both with the same truth, presence. When the nervous system receives a coherent command, it follows, not because you believe, but because you spoke in the language it understands. This union of ancient wisdom and modern precision is no coincidence. It's confirmation that the body has always known the way. The protocol works because it brings together ancestral knowledge and contemporary clarity. What remains now is to seal the transformation in the body. You know integration has happened when the breath drops into your abdomen without effort, when your jaw moves without clicking, when saliva returns naturally to a mouth that was once dry. Gentle warmth in the preauricular region, a face soft to the touch, a neck that turns without stiffness. These are physical markers that your nervous system has shifted to anchor this state and return to it whenever needed. Use the signal gesture, a brief touch on gateway 2, the intertragic notch, for 30 seconds. Combine it with the 4-2-6 breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6, and adjust your posture. Shoulders back, neck long, jaw relaxed. This gesture brings you back to center in less than a minute, anywhere, without anyone noticing. When you feel tension starting to return, say silently to yourself, "Zero tension in the TMJ." Apply the touch on gateway 2 and breathe in the 4-2-6 rhythm. This combination creates a somatic anchor that prevents your body from falling back into the old contraction pattern. It's not a coping technique, it's a physical seal your body recognizes and obeys instantly. Your jaw doesn't lock again because the command has been rewritten, not just suppressed. You already know where gateway 4 is and what it does. Now it will be activated, gesture by gesture. Place your index and middle fingers behind your ear, on the mastoid bone, that bony prominence you can feel just below and behind the earlobe. The touch should be steady, firm enough to feel the bone, but without excess pressure or discomfort. Let your mouth remain slightly open, jaw relaxed, gaze soft on the horizon without fixed focus. Now breathe in the 4-2-6 rhythm. Inhale through your nose to a count of 4. Hold for 2 seconds. Exhale through your mouth to a count of 6. Keep the touch and the breath for 30 to 40 seconds. As you stay in this position, notice the signs that may begin to arise. A spontaneous swallow, as if your body needs to swallow without you telling it to. A physiological sigh, a long, deep exhale, followed by an automatic inhale. A sign that your nervous system is recalibrating its autonomic tone. A sensation of weight descending from the face to the chest, like gravity is pulling tension downward and releasing it through the center of the body. A sense of lightness in the head, as if something once compressed has been released. A fine microtremor in the hands or lips, a subtle vibration that signals neuromuscular release. Tears that come without any clear emotion, just a pure vagal response. If any of these signs appear, do not interrupt. Let your body complete the cycle. Keep breathing in the 4-2-6 rhythm until you feel something settle inside. When you're ready, slowly release the touch and remain in silence for a few seconds. Notice how your whole body seems to have dropped a tone, like the vibrational frequency has shifted. This portal completes the vagal circuit because it activates the descending pathway of the nerve, sending a signal of safety that spreads from the brainstem to the heart, lungs, diaphragm, and internal organs. Clarity in decision-making improves because the prefrontal cortex is no longer being hijacked by alarm signals. Confidence in conversations emerges because the throat no longer closes out of a defensive reflex when you speak. Sleep becomes restorative because the body has entered a true parasympathetic state. Not just sympathetic exhaustion, spiritual confidence takes root because you feel yourself inhabiting your body, not just using it as a vehicle. What you just experienced wasn't created by effort. It was revealed the moment you gave your nervous system the signal it had been waiting for. The body recognizes the language of safety and responds in an immediate, measurable, and verifiable way. This is the final step of the Neuro-Somatic protocol. 4 gateways opened, 1 complete circuit, a jaw that now follows presence instead of fear. The body opened, the soul responded. It's time to listen to what this passage is here to reveal. The jaw doesn't lock by accident. It follows an internal command, one that could always be rewritten. When the body receives a coherent signal of safety, form responds, not through abstract belief, but through the language the nervous system recognizes as truth. What once felt automatic turns out to be trainable. What seemed permanent reveals itself to be temporary. The body never forgot the state of rest. It was simply waiting for you to remember how to send the right signal. You didn't fix something broken. You restored something that had fallen asleep. An unlocked jaw isn't a victory over the body. It's a reconciliation with it. The breath that drops isn't a triumph of the mind, it's permission granted by the soul. The voice that flows without effort isn't a rehearsed technique, it's embodied truth. The anxiety you've carried in your jaw for years wasn't weakness, it was loyalty. From a nervous system that had never been given permission to rest, now it has. 4 gateways, a sealed circuit, a body that trusts again. God was never absent while your jaw was locked. He sustained every shallow breath, every sleepless night, every word swallowed. And when you touched your ear for the first time, when the yawn came without warning, when the swallow happened spontaneously, God confirmed, I was always here, waiting for you to return. The divine doesn't reward effort, it recognizes presence. Zero tension in the TMJ isn't the absence of something. It's the fullness of everything. It's the body remembering it was made to flow, not freeze. It's the jaw giving back to the voice what always belonged to it, freedom. The Neuro-Somatic protocol you've learned today is not just information, it's initiation. You've crossed a threshold you cannot uncross. From now on, every time anxiety tries to tighten your jaw, your body will remember. There is another way. For gateways in the ear, one command in the nervous system, a jaw that finally listens to you, not to fear. This is not the end of anxiety. It's the end of your submission to it. If this protocol brought something real into your life, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. It helps us spread this knowledge and reach those who still don't know that there is a solution for chronic TMJ tension. Write in the comments, I unlock my jaw and dissolve anxiety. This declaration seals your presence on the path of somatic transformation. Share this video with someone who carries facial tension, nighttime teeth grinding, or a voice that feels held back. This practice could change their life. Don't stop here. Click the screen and dive into another transformative video from the channel. Every practice you master teaches you this. The body holds answers the mind doesn't yet know. When the vagus nerve learns the language of safety, anxiety stops being a destiny and becomes a memory, and the locked jaw finally releases. The voice returns, the breath drops, presence lights up, and you come back to fully inhabit yourself.